When November 12 happened, Robert was picked up, but before he was picked up, he managed to get out of his house. Went to the back and he went to a friend's house. I will not call the friend's name. And then the friend came and told me, say, I have your brother at my house. But my father is saying that he doesn't want him there. So I came to find out how best we can solve this problem. And I said, okay, let's go. So I told him, I said, Robert, come to my house. He said, Roberta, he said, you got your daughters. He said, the first place to look for me will be your house or my house. And then he had another friend, a foreign friend. And he said, bring him to my house. So I drove the car. He was in the back. I carried him there. But then it was a little bit too far, and it was a whole lot of other things. And I said, we got to go get him. So we brought him, and we carried him to my aunt's house, and Diana Coleman's house, right on 15th Street, between Coleman and Chisholm Avenue. That's where we carried him. And eventually I told Mama, I said, Mama, we got to turn Robert up. Because I don't want Robert to be, killed somewhere on the street, brutalized somewhere in the street, and we never find his body. So I went to him, I said, Robert, we're going to turn you in. He didn't want it to happen, but I said, we have to turn you in. And Father J. Jellico Bright, my mother's priest, he came, Edward Massacre came, we called him, and we told him to carry Robert. I went to go carry food and whatnot. The next thing I knew, I'm coming down Capitol Bypass, and all of a sudden I saw my brother chained to the back of a pickup in his underclothes. Chained to the back of a pickup in his underclothes. And I turned around, and it was my sister and Madeline. I turned around and they went on the old road. When they got on the old road, they carried them inside. And I asked the boy, I said, at least let me give him the slippers to put on. They gave the slippers. They kept him there for a while, everything else. Then they ended up eventually taking him to Post Stockade. They took Robert to Post Stockade and they handcuffed him to somebody he never knew. Robert was handcuffed November, December, January, February. Every time I went to go find out about the handcuffs, they said, oh, they would take it off. Then he would send me notes and say, the handcuffs are still on. And I remember right here on, I think that's Benson Street, they had some security office somewhere in that area there. And I remember it was Massacre, the whole group of them, and they kept saying, don't forget, this is David Coleman's grandchild. I will never forget that statement. Don't ever forget that this is David Coleman's grandchild. Robert stayed handcuffed. When he wanted to go to the bathroom, boss said he's not moving, he didn't move. Eventually, during that period, we was to carry food. And how we managed to carry the food, put in the thing there, they will find a way of communicating. Take toilet paper, and also write notes on the toilet paper and drop it in the food. You get to the place and my mother insisted that she was going to take the food in. I was not going to take, she was going to take it in. They would take all the clothes wasted on the floor, take the food, just go up in the food. She would bend down, pick it up, put it back in the thing there, send it in. When we went for the general teachers, he would send us notes on it to say whatever was happening to him and whatnot. And I remember one note he sent to me. And he told me, he said, wait for a clock. He said they were doing something with his, torturing him with his testicles. He said, Wilfred Clark told him that if he didn't say that Ellen Johnson Selby was part of it, even the American government would not be able to release him. And God knows that's the truth. Robert wrote that out to me.